All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. I'm your host, Brian Savage, and joining me as always is my co-host, Mr. Ryan Potts. Ryan, how we doing today?
It's all good out here in Tucson.
It is, man. I'm feeling good. We got finals coming up. Got done with a couple finals. Feeling great. I mean, the weather has changed quite a bit. It's been a little cool. But anyways, I just want to give a quick shout out to Diego Maradona. The world lost a superb icon in the world of soccer. I'm gonna tell you, right? I've never seen a country with such a strong reaction to a single player in sports before. I mean, it's like they acted like the Pope had died. I mean, it was unreal, that scene in the streets of Buenos Aires. Just seeing them just like pour their emotions to like a single person. I mean, he was literally treated as a god in Argentina. I mean, he has such a profound impact on people's lives there, and it was just amazing to see a lot of the Argentinian athletes in soccer, like Lionel Messi, Sergio Aguero, and also other athletes as well, just giving their appreciation to Diego Maradona. And of course, as some people who may not know about Maradona, he was famous for his hand of God goal against England, and I believe the 1988 World Cup final that propelled Argentina to win the World Cup that year. So again, such a immaculate icon that we lost, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And and also to give thanks, also wanted to praise the kicker for Vanderbilt. God, what was her name again?
Sarah Fuller. Sarah
Yeah,
Fuller.
Sarah Fuller. Sarah Fuller, first ever woman to play in college football. I mean, that's she broke a big barrier. Just it was a historical moment. So yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to her. Perhaps we could see more women participate in a sport that's been predominantly men for generations. So that'd be really cool to see. And Ryan, it's had me thinking. Like, what if this whole Sarah Fuller situation? Like, what if the NBA? Just hear me out here. I know a lot of people are gonna like this idea. What if just one day? What if the NBA and WNBA merged together and had women and men playing aside? Perhaps we could see like a Diana Taurasi throwing a lob up to LeBron James or something. You know what I mean?
I think that would be fascinating. I don't know. I guess I have my opinions on that, and I think with the NBA, I don't think the door is like closed. So if there was like a female that was talented enough to be in the NBA, I think she could be in the NBA. But I mean, from in my lifetime, the only people that have had like the argument, I guess, Candace Parker when she was at Tennessee and Brittany Griner, and I just want sometimes you want to compare the athleticism, and Brittany Griner is barely dunking when she dunks, and the average NBA player is can easily dunk, you know. So I guess there's just an athletic difference there, and I do think if there was a talented enough person, they will play in the NBA, and I think the NBA knows that. I think even college football, um, like any sport, if the talent is there, it'll work. But if the talent's not there, it's not going to work.
Right, right. It would just to me that'd be pretty crazy to see. Perhaps like do like test it for a year just as an experiment. See how it would work, what the ratings would be, how people would like it. I'm sure it'll be split in the middle in terms of if people are in favor of it or not. But again, I think it'd be a cool thing to see if the NBA actually tested that out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, yeah, it'd be really cool. But hey, we just had the Ravens and the Steelers play on a very unusual day of scheduling on a Wednesday. Just strange, something that we're not accustomed to at all as sports fans. Uh, just watching a game on Wednesday just feels weird, but hey,
Yeah.
it happened. It took place in Pittsburgh, in a stadium of a few people. I could hear a lot of "Go Steelers, go! Let's go Steelers" chants, in the stands, which got pretty annoying after a while. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm sure it got really annoying for you, Ryan.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
geez.
to be fair, I did have the game on mute for most of the time because I was in class for a decent portion of the game. Because if I'm NBC, of course I'd rather show off the Rockefeller tree than a football.
Right.
So there's that. It was an ugly game.
It is.
I don't. If you're a fan of a team outside of the AFC North and outside of like Chicago, Green Bay, like that kind of gritty Detroit, I guess.
Right.
It was just ugly to watch. The Ravens didn't have a passing first down until 3 minutes to go in the game, so that was rough. But I have hope in Baltimore moving forward. I didn't have any hope moving or heading into the week, so there's that.
Tell me, man, where's the optimism meter right now with the Ravens fans? I mean, you lose Lamar Jackson, unfortunately, to COVID-19. We're still monitoring that situation, so we don't know when he'll be back or the expected date. So right now, RG3 got injured. Now you have Trace McSorley,
Okay.
a man who used to play in the SEC. So I mean, McSorley, yeah, he did complete a pass. To be fair, it was a touchdown.
Completed 2 passes. I think he was 2 for 6.
Right.
Has the highest. I think he has the highest passer rating of any player with at least 6 attempts this season, which is really a stupid stat because
It is, because you're working with a very small sample.
So I guess before I get into the optimism meter, I want to break down that one throw because people are going to look at this stat and say, "Oh, he completed it. He threw a touchdown. That's nice." That throw is not a touchdown very often. It required one, Joe Hayden to try to jump a different route because he misjudged the flight of the ball. 2, Terrell Edmonds to be garbage again. He's actually been good this year. Last year he wasn't very good. And then it required Marquise Brown to just spin Minka into the ground, basically. So it required 3 members of a really good secondary to overcommit to a football, miss a tackle, and can't catch Hollywood Brown. So he earned his name back. I'll give him that. His first 25-yard touchdown since week 1 of 2019.
Yeah, how about that?
So it had been.
And who would have thought it would come from the hands of Trace McSorley?
Trace McSorley.
The hero, Trace McSorley, for like a minute of the game. And then he got all fired up and acted like a hotshot. Oh, look at me. I'm going to lead this team to victory against the only undefeated team left in the NFL. But they couldn't capitalize on the opportunity, unfortunately, and ultimately lost 19-14 at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, putting a dash and a loss of hope in the Ravens' chances to make the playoffs.
And here is where the optimism meter comes in. So I want to first, there's 2 parts. If Trace McSorley is the starting quarterback on Tuesday, I have no hope against Dallas. None. Zippo, just throw the Dallas game out.
Not even like
Jackson plays. If Lamar Jackson plays, I am very confident the Ravens can win at least 4 of their last 5, if not sweep the last 5 and make the playoffs. And I'm not saying they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs. I just think the schedule is Dallas, Cleveland, who we beat by 31 week 1. So Dallas, Cleveland, Jacksonville, the New York Giants, and Cincinnati. If they don't win all 5 of those games, it is a disappointment. Even if they lose to Cleveland, it's a disappointment, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And that's a vital game against Cleveland. A vital game against Cleveland, especially if Cleveland loses to Tennessee, which I think they will. Cleveland will be 8-4, and if Baltimore beats Dallas, Baltimore will be 7-5. If Baltimore goes to Cleveland, beats Cleveland, Baltimore jumps Cleveland in the standings, 8-5 to 8-5, and they won both head-to-head games. That's huge. That
is huge.
And Cleveland also has to play Pittsburgh later in the year. So that means Cleveland's going to probably sit on 6 losses, assuming they lose to Baltimore. And Baltimore, again, would have the advantage over them. And then the rest of the AFC, you have Vegas, Miami. They have to play each other. Vegas and the Colts have to play each other. The Colts have to play Pittsburgh. The Colts never beat Pittsburgh. Never beat Pittsburgh. So if Baltimore fails to make the playoffs, it's either like the Colts and Browns beat Pittsburgh and the Dolphins, beat the Patriots and beat the Chiefs. And it would be okay. So unless the Ravens lose to a really bad team like Dallas, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, the Giants aren't quite that bad, but the Ravens should beat the Giants. Yes.
Right. They should.
In Baltimore, they should beat the Giants.
Right.
It would require divine intervention for Baltimore to miss the playoffs, I think. Like 538 has Baltimore with a 68% chance to make the playoffs, and that's just because they have to win 5 games that they're heavily favored in a row.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and they should win those 5 games, and I think Baltimore has to win out because you look at these teams in the AFC, like it's a very tight race right now. Miami is 7-4. Cleveland's 8-3. Indianapolis is 7-4, I believe.
Yes. And we have the tiebreaker over Indianapolis too.
Right. It's really tight. Baltimore's sitting at 6-5. So again, like what happens if Miami wins all their games and they win out? What if Indianapolis wins all their games and win out? I mean, it's
okay. We can answer that. If Miami wins all of their games, I think they would win the division. I'll check 538 on that.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
they're going to play Buffalo pretty soon.
Yeah, they play Buffalo again, and that would give their game behind Buffalo. Let's see. So I think the Bills would have to lose another game, but they play Pittsburgh and they play New England, so they have losable games left on the schedule. So if Miami were to win out, I think they would be an overwhelming favorite to win the division. So then they would be eliminated from the competition, or eliminated from the wild card realm, and then you move Buffalo down, and of course Buffalo's 8-3, but they would have 2 extra losses, and playing Pittsburgh is hard to do. There's a reason they're undefeated.
Yeah, like realistically, I don't think the Dolphins are going to win the division. I think the latest stretch of their division, they play teams like Kansas City and the Raiders. The Raiders are always a tough out for anybody. So I just don't see them winning the division because of those games. And again, they have New England at Miami, which we know. Yes, Miami has historically been very good against New England somehow at Miami during those Tom Brady, Belichick-led teams. But again, I think it's gonna be really tough. That New England games, it just to me feels like a trap game for Miami. I have a feeling they're gonna lose that game, unfortunately.
It was a trap game for Baltimore, really. So
right, and then also, yeah, I mean, because then Buffalo, their schedule not as tough as Miami's, and again, when you compare strength to schedule, I think Miami is the toughest. So that's why I would give the Bills the edge to win the AFC East for the first time in what, like 20 years?
I think it would definitely be the first time since realignment. I think it would be the first time they've won since '95. I could be wrong on that. I'll cross-check on Pro Football Reference, but I believe since '95 they haven't won a playoff game since. Actually, I think the last time they won the division was '99, and the last time they won a playoff game was '95. But I will cross-check that. They last won the division in 1990. Ooh. Last time they did either was 1995. So, yeah.
Yeah, last time
1995, 25 years.
The Dolphins were in the playoffs, 2015, against that forgetful game at Heinz Field.
Oh my Lord!
Against the Steelers. Oh my God!
I have a Jay Ajayi jersey. He went to Boise State. Had 3 200-yard games that season. That was an ugly game. Miami at Pittsburgh. No Tannehill at that point, so it's Matt Moore. Matt Moore gets mollywopped by.
He really did.
I think it was Dupree. I think it was Dupree. Some Steelers fans can correct me on that, but he just got destroyed.
Yeah, he really did.
Like I don't think I've seen many bigger hits. And Matt Moore got knocked out. He was out cold right there.
Yeah, he was.
It was very Teddy Bridgewater of him. So
poor Matt Moore getting put in a very precarious situation when your team was in a must-win and needed a playoff win for the first time in a while, but unfortunately it just didn't happen against a much better Pittsburgh team. I
believe that would have been their first playoff win since 1999, the week before.
I believe so.
The week before they lost to Jacksonville, 62-7.
Right, and it's unfortunate the way Dan Marino went out. for his career. That awful game that he had against Jacksonville.
Yes.
I mean, he was such an icon in the
Brutal.
NFL. I mean, he's arguably known as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And just to go out like that in embarrassing
Yes.
fashion
Statistically up
against
there.
Jacksonville was just it was awful. Like I felt really bad for the guy just
Yeah.
seeing those clips. I mean, I wish he would have got out in a better situation, but it just didn't happen. Sometimes you don't go out the way you want to in
Right.
professional sports. But
So I want to, I guess, backtrack for a second. If Miami wins out, Buffalo would hold the tiebreaker if both teams finish at 12-4.
right,
But the Bills, if they play San Francisco, they could lose. They could lose to Pittsburgh. They could lose at Denver. That's always a difficult game. At New England. So they have four. They have a really tough way to end the season.
right. But again, that's going to be really interesting to see if Miami and Buffalo do meet. Will we see Tua Tagovailoa back as quarterback, or not? Will it still be Fitzmagic? Who Fitzmagic wasn't so magic against the Denver Broncos in that trap game that happened in Denver. But hey, yeah, we'll see how it pans out in the AFC East. It's definitely going to be an exciting finish for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly. And again, a very intriguing matchup that we have over in the NFC West. We got the Arizona Cardinals matched up against LA Rams in a very pivotal game to considering that race in the NFC West. Certainly going to have big implications come playoff time. So yeah, very intriguing matchup that we have over in the desert in Arizona. Sunday afternoon game. What are the Cardinals' chances of pulling out the win?
So
It's a Rams team that has picked up a lot of steam, man. I have to admit.
yeah, the Rams didn't play particularly well against San Francisco, but I think that's just limitations on Jared Goff, and San Francisco just is frankly one of the best coach teams in the league. It's hard to beat them consistently.
Absolutely.
And I think the Rams are better than the Cardinals. I think the Rams are very, very good. Offensively, they're really good. High floor. They don't have a super high ceiling, but their floor is really high. Defensively, they've been spectacular this year. Just point blank, they're one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're up there like Pittsburgh, Tampa, Chicago, Baltimore. Like that. They are that tier.
Legit. Oh, I agree.
So it's a scary sight, and I think the Rams will pull out the victory. I would not be surprised if the Cardinals win, but I do think the Rams pull out the victory.
I mean, is it going to take another Hail Murray, perhaps, to pull off a huge win in Arizona against this Rams team, who seems like they're really getting together, especially on defense? I mean, how much can the offense generate enough to be able to beat this type of caliber team in the LA Rams?
I want to take a tangent. I think people are overrating the Cardinals a little bit just because of the Hail Murray. I think people are overrating Kyler a little bit just because of the Hail Murray. People, if DeAndre Hopkins doesn't make the catch of the last 5 years, Arizona has a losing record.
Of course.
That's just it. Arizona will be 5-6.
And it's insane because look who's right behind Arizona, in which, look, I'm not saying this team perhaps might not even win another game because it seems like they gave up on their season already and the coach lost the locker room. I mean, they're in complete disarray, and that's the Chicago Bears. They're literally right there for the 7th seed, right behind the Cardinals. So all they would need to do, Chicago has an easy schedule.
5-6. Chicago should win games. Do you trust them? No.
I do not trust them at all. No.
No.
I will not trust them. Absolutely not.
No.
But do you trust the defense?
Good Lord. I do trust the defense. And
right.
I got into an argument in my beloved AFC North group chat last night, and I said that the Ravens, one of the teams they would have beaten Wednesday was the Bears. And I said it's because the Bears have zero offense. Like the Ravens did move the ball like against Pittsburgh, but again, Pittsburgh is the best defense in the league. But I think you can move the ball just a tiny bit better against Chicago, and Chicago's not moving the ball in Baltimore. Like the way Baltimore's defense was playing, no. Allen Robinson shut down.
I agree.
I love loves some Darnell Mooney. He gets shut down. So,
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like Chicago, they can't move the ball for like 3.5 quarters, and then in garbage time, they put up like 23 points. Yeah, everything starts clicking. It's like, oh, I guess our offense isn't that bad. No, they're bad. They're still bad. But in fairness, they finally got the running game going.
Yeah, they did.
After all season, they haven't this debacle in their offensive line due to injuries, COVID-19, positive cases. They've been switching lineups all through and through throughout the season. And so, yeah, that's been a big problem for them. But hey, our offensive line coach finally found a lineup that works. The running game finally got going. And it's been a while. Hey, David Montgomery broke out for a big run
Yeah,
in
he's been
that game. And I thought, oh, hey, I guess we might have something going here, and we're actually going to like do some damage against an average Packers defense. But no, didn't happen.
That was ugly. Oh,
yeah, it's very ugly. What a tough loss. Now, that game was the epitome of this Matt Nagy era, in which he gets out coached. He's not a good game manager. He's never a good play caller. And all that comes together, and what do you know? Essentially a blowout loss to the Green Bay Packers.
Like they lost by 16. It really should have been like 61. Like Green Bay thoroughly outclassed Chicago. They took them behind the woodshed. Like they just whacked them.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was spectacular. Devontae Adams was great. Aaron Jones was great. Everyone on this Green Bay offense had an unbelievable game. And was it Preston Smith? Preston Smith had a pick six, scoop and score.
No, strip sack of Mitch Trubisky, scoop and score.
Okay, so I think it was a Zadarius strip sack. Zadarius strip sack, Preston scoop and score. Shout out to my boys on U Stadium. One of the guys I work with is a Packers fan, and they have a shirt that's like the Smith brothers. So that was a really cool shirt.
I bet. And I mean, we really need to start. I mean, this Packers game this past week, as upsetting as it was, and just super hard to watch. I just turned off the game after the first half. I'm not even kidding. Like I was fed up. I'm done because I know they're not going to come back in the second half. There's no way. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers had him where he wanted, and just the way he picked apart the Bears defense very methodically, he was killing them softly, man. I mean, it was a work of art, to be honest. I got to give respect to Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying, I like the guy, but hey, I got to respect him, man, because for these last 12, 13 years, he's been just sticking a knife in the hearts of Bears fans all over the world. But hey, man, I have to say, if we ever did have him as a quarterback, we would all open him with open arms. That's without a doubt. Even after all these things that he's done to us and just tortured us in our dreams, we would welcome him with open arms. That's how such a profound impact he has had in this league since he first stepped on it in 2005.
Yes. Imagine if he had been taken by the 49ers.
Yeah, it's a crazy scenario because you think, would the 49ers have developed him properly as the Green Bay Packers did? Because he did learn from Brett Favre during his tutelage while he was Brett Favre was still in Green Bay. So yeah, it really makes you brings up the question: would Aaron Rodgers be the Aaron Rodgers that he's today if he had gone drafted to the 49ers or to any other team?
I would lean and say yes. He would still be like one of the greatest talents to ever play a quarterback. I'm not gonna say he's maybe 2-time MVP or like inner circle Hall of Famer like he is. Like I think he's gonna retire as a top five quarterback of all time.
All right, no question.
His 2011 to 2014 stretch is the greatest stretch of quarterback play, at least until Mahomes plays in 2021.
Right.
So, hey, I give all the credit in the world to A-Rod. San Francisco, I think, might be better equipped to win, oddly enough, because Green Bay has been historically, you're not going to spend money here. As free agents.
Right. Rather just draft another quarterback to one day replace you, and then bam, we have another franchise quarterback.
Why draft T. Higgins or why draft Laviska Shenault? Why draft anyone? Oh, let's just grab Jordan Love.
Right.
And he can't even beat out Tim Boyle. That's bad. That's bad book. That's a bad book.
Well, hey, that's actually good news for Bears fans. At least we won't have post Aaron Rodgers era. Another great quarterback that we have to contest with for the next 10 15 years or so, and then haunt us
Yeah.
forever. So, yeah, that's good news, Bears fans. But
If,
hey, hopefully Jordan Love doesn't turn into another Aaron Rodgers. I
if
hope
the
not.
Packers go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to another like Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, I really like Jordan Love. All the credit there. But if they went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love with no bad years, no like, I mean, the only bad year was when Rodgers gets hurt, and
Right.
you're talking even with Rodgers getting hurt, it's 25 years of basically elite quarterback play. And then if you tack on Jordan Love, that could be 35, 40 years. That's insane.
That is insane. Like, how does that happen? Like, how does the one franchise consistently have a factory of all these great quarterbacks simultaneously just popping up? I mean, it's how's that even possible?
And then the Bears have had what, zero franchise quarterbacks in
Zero quarterbacks.
like the Super Bowl era. I think the Bears have
Right.
what, one Pro Bowl quarterback in 50 years. Actually, I guess Trubisky was a Pro Bowler. It was
He was an alternative. To be fair, he was an alternative.
Yeah. So I mean, getting to the Pro Bowl, at least as a quarterback, is not necessarily hard if you have a good team around you.
That's
But
right.
holy crap, the Bears have had nothing at quarterback.
Yeah,
And
it's
Jake
been
Cutler
awful.
being the best quarterback in Bears history is not an overstatement. That's
No.
insane.
I would certainly say Jay Cutler would be number one on that list, without
Yeah.
a doubt.
Talent wise, holy yeah.
Yes. As much as a headache that Jay Cutler has been in terms of his decision making on the field, and his questionable attitude towards the game and his team, he's been, I have to admit, without a doubt, the most talented quarterback we've ever had.
Yeah,
Definitely the
absolutely.
best quarterback. Leadership wise, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. Smoking
But
Jay though. Smoking Jay.
I have to admit, the time that Jay Cutler was there, our offense, I don't think was ever bottom 5 or bottom 10.
I don't think it was ever like bad. There was one year that I think they had a pretty good offense, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, that's what it was. We talked about it
Second
last
scoring
year.
offense in the league. They averaged like 27.8 points a game. But
But
then,
they couldn't stop
what do
him.
you know? Their defense was terrible. Where is the consistency, Chicago? Where is the consistency? It's like you draft so well in one area, but you don't draft. But you're terrible at drafting in the other area.
I feel bad for Allen Robinson. Like, I know he wasn't drafted by Chicago, but I just feel bad for Allen
I
Robinson.
feel terrible for him. I mean, look at this mediocre like quarterback play that he's had to deal with throughout his career. He goes from Blake Bortles, a very bad quarterback, to another very bad quarterback in Mr. Trubisky. I mean, what's it going to take to turn that around? Oh, hey, how about free agency next year? Go to Seattle and form like arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league with
Wrong.
DK
He should go to Baltimore. Stop. He should go to Baltimore.
Oh, okay. I understand your bias,
Hey,
but hey,
look, Chris Godwin, Kenny Galladay, Allen Robinson, go after one of them. Just one of them.
yeah,
Good lord. And for those wondering at home, the 2012 Bears had a top 5 defense statistically. The 2013 Bears had a top 10 offense, second in scoring, and they had a bottom 3 defense. Like it went real quick.
absolutely.
And then by 2018, hey, guess what? You have the best offense in the NFL. Whoop you do.
Yeah, and here's the thing for Bears fans, I know the optimism is it's not high right now. Like it's very low in terms of our confidence of the team. But you know what? Just stay with me here. Stick with me. We will get through this once again. I mean, it's been such a headache. Like it's hard being a Bears fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of the hardest teams to be a fan because they're just such a headache sometimes.
They had a bottom 5 offense 4 out of 5 years.
Right. And
That's just bad.
why can't we ever get it right at the quarterback position? I don't know. It's because like I said before, this organization is so cheap. They never want to make the right decision. Like, why don't we ever have a black quarterback? Why? Why not? Why? You tell me.
Oh my
I know
goodness.
it's a hot button topic. It's very controversial, but tell me.
Hold up. So on the NBC broadcast, I think the funniest graphic of all time was it went from Aaron Rodgers with the passer rating record, who of course owns the Bears.
Right.
And then it goes Deshaun Watson, who the Bears didn't take in the 2017 draft. And then it goes Patrick Mahomes, who the Bears didn't take in the 2017 NFL draft.
Right.
Like, if there's three like people that Chicago fans just hate because they exist, it's Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and Patrick Mahomes. They just like pass the baton on the way to the passer rating record. And I just thought that's just like knife twist, like knife into your back, twist, keep twisting, keep twisting, keep twisting, and it's still twisting to this day because hey, Watson plays the Bears in like 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, and I guarantee you, in that game, that Watson is going to give it to the team that didn't draft him. He's going to stick it to them like no one else. Well, of course, we all saw Mahomes last year stick it to him at Soldier Field.
And then
not four,
elite defense.
10 picks after him. And Chicago didn't get him. Like, come on, guys.
2, 3.
How could you not? Okay, to be fair, nobody really had Mahomes to ending up this like amazing quarterback. And what do you know? Tyreek Hill, even a minute on social media that he thought Mahomes looked absolute trash, which I thought was hilarious.
That was
considering now that
all week.
He's like the most elite quarterback today.
Yeah,
and he stands by that. How about that? He stood by that at that time, but now, of course, he changed his mind.
Yeah. It's like I know I had a buddy. My buddy went to a Patriots practice when Jimmy Garoppolo was there, and like his first throw, he hit the upright from like he missed the guy so badly that he hit the upright. Like he's like a guy's running an in route on the 20-yard line, and Garoppolo just sails it by a mile. Right. And then all of a sudden, hey, look, he's a competent quarterback. I'm not saying he's top 10 or top 15, but he's a competent quarterback on a team that was a play away from winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like that Jimmy Garoppolo was this close to winning a legitimate Super Bowl because we all know he has 2 rings, but imagine that, Garoppolo with 3 rings.
It's hard to imagine, but hey, Garoppolo he was in a good situation with New England. Well, not personally, since I'm sure he always wanted to start. Because we all know that he had the talent, especially when Brady got injured. He was plugged in there, and he did really well, all things considering. And, of course, having a brilliant coach as Bill Belichick always helps to reap the benefits. But, again, he's with San Francisco now, and I'm starting to get the sense that they might steer away from Garoppolo after this year.
I think that might be a good idea. Although they have an easy enough schedule, let me rephrase. They have a good enough coaching staff that they can make the playoffs from this point. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. They could go 9-7 or 10-6. I mean, you're talking Zach Wilson. Like he he destroyed Boise State. That was ugly. And Zach Wilson. That would be a really nice fit in the Shanahan offense. And you're talking like you go like the Shanahan system, whatever running back you put there, it works. It just works. My cat could run for 1,000 yards in the Shanahan system. George Kittle, he's going to be back. Deebo Samuel, he's insane. He's better than Deontay Johnson at the AFC North group chat. Brandon Ayuk has been really good this year. And defensively, you're going to get Nick Bosa back, and Bosa was unbelievable. He was the best player in Super Bowl 54. He was the best football player in a game with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, George Kittle, like Chris Jones, like elite players everywhere, and the best one was Nick Bosa.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But anyways, it's been quite a frenzy in San Francisco. Again, they had those ridiculous amount of injuries that kept piling up, especially at that game at MetLife Stadium, which everyone was complaining, like that turf really sucks. It's not suitable for playing conditions. And, they got struck with the injury bug and had some bad luck. And unfortunately, but they still find themselves in the playoff race somehow. Who would have believed? Even after all those injuries, they're still in the thick of things in the playoff race in the NFC.
Yes. Just one game behind Arizona, and they get a chance to beat Arizona in a couple weeks. That'd be huge, That's a huge opportunity. Well, I think it's a Week 17 game, but still, it's a huge opportunity. San Francisco has a winnable game in in Glendale as a home game against Buffalo on Monday Night Football. So, yeah. Enticing game.
Yeah, it's been a real frenzy, the NFC playoff picture so far. But you know what else has been a frenzy, Ryan? How about the free agency market in the NBA?
Oh, Lord.
Going on. I mean, you have guys like literally changing teams in the same city.
Yeah.
Like, you switch from one team into the defending champ. I mean, it's your rival.
Yeah.
Now you're getting paid millions of dollars from the other LA team, and arguably
you're getting,
team in
last
LA.
year you're getting millions of dollars to be a bum in the playoffs. Now you're getting millions of dollars to come off the bench for the reigning champions.
That's right.
There's that. Hey, Ibaka, he's on the Clippers now. Gordon Hayward is the third player ever to have two $30 million contracts.
Yeah, there's that. brag about that. The rest of
LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Gordon Hayward. I don't know why Charlotte gave him $30 million. I
have no idea.
Genuinely have no idea.
I feel like that seemed like a big stretch to me. It seemed like a desperate move. Like, are they scared that the LaMelo? The LaMelo Ball experiment will not work.
I think LaMelo is going to be fine. I mean, I like Ball. I like Devontae Graham. I mean, I like Hayward still. He had a really awful injury, you know. First game of his Celtics career, he snaps his leg against Cleveland. That was really sad.
It was.
But, I mean, he's a fine player. He's better than Nicholas Batum, who got stretched and waived to some random squad, I think. Actually, I think he's on the Rockets now, which is weird. I remember where I was when the Hornets gave Batum that obscene, it's like 5-year, $180 million contract. Like, I've never, like, look, I get that GMs are more intelligent than I am, but I don't think Michael Jordan knows what he's doing as a owner. I don't think, was it Mitch Kupchak at the time, or is I think he's been the Lakers GM the whole time. But I don't think the Hornets GM had any idea what he was doing, giving
I don't think so
that much money.
Yeah, I mean, but again, what do you think? I mean, they got LaMelo Ball, you have Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham, who's become a very promising young player. Right before COVID hit and the NBA went into that break, right after March 13th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Graham lit it up against the Heat in Miami. And it made me think, this guy, he's turning out to be a really good player and a future All-Star.
Yeah, Devontae Graham, if I remember correctly, he's cooked Cleveland. I went to a game around Christmas. Like, he cooked Cleveland. Terry Rozier cooked Cleveland for a quarter. He sucked, and then he just hit shot after shot after shot after shot. It's like, this man's not good at basketball, but all of a sudden he's gonna be superstar MVP.
Yeah.
What the heck, dog?
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you think? Do you think Charlotte could be one of those sleeper teams who might like to sneak up on everybody and perhaps contend?
I think
the
Charlotte
Southeast Division with the Miami Heats, and I mean, it's hard to say.
I mean, let's see. So Boston, Brooklyn, Philly, Toronto, Indiana, I guess, still, Milwaukee, Miami, and then at that point you're like Washington, Atlanta, and then Charlotte, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say like they're a dark horse or anything. There's no doubt. I'm not gonna say that at all. Mm-hmm. But I mean, their roster looks pretty promising. Not sure if they'll contend this year. Maybe in a couple years from now. Maybe LaMelo Ball will be developed into a really good player by then. Perhaps this year he just goes off and wins rookie of the year. But I don't think he'll win rookie of the year. I'm not sure about that.
Because I don't think Anthony Edwards is weird about that, and I don't want to like fully discredit him because he had the whole "if I could have played football, I would have played football" thing, and like I don't want to question that how much an athlete loves the sport, but I think it was kind of taken out of context a little bit as well. But it's not a very good look for the number one pick to be like, I don't really like basketball, it's just my job.
Right, and honestly, speaking of the Southeast Division, it looks really promising this year. Of course, you have the Miami Heat, who I still think will finish first in that division. You still have up-and-coming players like Tyler Hero. We saw what he could do in that finals. And and especially against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals when he lit up and just exploded for like 37 points, literally carried the Heat to a victory by himself. And then of course you have Duncan Robinson, who's coming into his own. He's become a splash. I mean, this guy
Spectacular.
spectacular, man. He really
Triple
stepped up in those last two games in the finals, and he's showing what he can do, what he will bring to the Miami Heat for years to come. But again, I think there's still work, both of them, in terms of their profile and what they can improve on it, and like their total game is defensively. They're sort of a liability at times in the playoffs. And again, once they develop defensively, which I'm sure they will, because Miami,
like Coach Stroud knows what he's doing.
Right, his acumen and what he preaches is defense. So there's no doubt in my mind they will be really good defensive players one day.
Yeah, and
but again,
is an unbelievable defensive player. I don't think Dan gets enough credit. Like a lot of people just look at the stats and say, "Oh, he's fine. He probably should have been an All-Star." No, the man is dominant. The man knows.
Yes,
like 55 doesn't happen very often.
And again, he may not be your traditional center in which he just completely dominates physically with his physical acumen. But again, he's more. I see him more as like a point center. Like he's really good at passing. He's a very good passer. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? To credit him, to his credit, he did win the All-Star Skills Challenge.
Yes,
back in February. How about
that? Yeah. Throwback to that.
Right.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool to see. So I can literally see like his pure skill, just overall as a basketball player, is really good, especially for a guy his size.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that's a great asset that Miami has. Excellent passer. And yeah, he brings a lot to the team. Again, his mid-range isn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
His mid-range isn't bad.
Guy, I don't think there's like a flaw in his game.
Not really. An excellent defender, made like one of the most memorable plays in NBA Finals history. Oh, I'm sorry, Eastern Conference Finals history when he blocked Jason Tatum out of nowhere to literally secure that victory for Miami in a pivotal game 2, I believe it was. So yeah, man, Miami has a lot to work with, and who knows? Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes have been very quiet as of late. There's been no activity in regards to that, so we're not sure where that's going to go. Who knows? Maybe he'll go to Miami. Maybe he'll go somewhere else, like Golden State. I hope not, because that would really suck, and then that would just change the complete parameter of the NBA and switch it to a super team. Then Golden State. Well, they don't have Klay Thompson right now, but again,
which really sucks.
Yeah, I just hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
hope he doesn't pull a KD, goes to Golden State, gets all his money, and wins easy championships. Easy. Just like KD did. Okay.
He stole 2 of my rings, Golden State. Actually 3, but Kevin Durant stole 2 of my rings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And since we're still in the Southeast Division, how about? I did not see this coming at all. This completely shocked me. Russell Westbrook getting traded to the Wizards. Well, in fairness, he does have his former head coach. He's linking up with his former head coach, Scott Brooks, in a little nice reunion. And I mean, yeah, just to see that, it really surprised me. Yeah, like in Washington.
Yeah.
In Washington with the Wizards. That is strange. I mean, Washington, to be fair, roster, they have some up-and-coming promising youngsters. Of course, you got Bertans, the guy who they really hope who will turn us into all-star one day, and I'm sure he will. He's an excellent player. A lot of skills, excellent with the deep ball. Excellent three-point shooter. And again, I mean, what do you think Russell Westbrook is stepping into now since he got traded to the Wizards? Like, how's that? Will they contend? I don't think they will. Is this just a move to like boost attendance in Washington after the COVID is over? I mean, what can we expect from this DC team, Ryan?
So I want to point out that Bradley Beal is probably better at basketball than Russell Westbrook is. Like I would rather have Bradley Beal on my team than Russell Westbrook. And
that's a hot take, Ryan. That's a big hot
take. But Bradley Beal was dropping 30 pieces a night. Like Bradley Beal is the real deal. Real deal Brad Beal. I think that's his Twitter. But like Russ isn't a bad player, but I think Beal can help you win more. Beal's just a super efficient scorer, great shooter, does everything you want in an offensive player, and I think Westbrook can help with that. Westbrook can push the pace a little bit, get some easier buckets, and sometimes that's all you need to be if you want to be a little bit better. Hey, get some free baskets. If you're Russell Westbrook and you're like, okay, fellas, I'm gonna grab the defensive rebound. We're gonna go light speed down the court. We're gonna get some easy points. You can win games with some fast break points here and there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Washington. Again, I don't think they're going to contend at all. And if they did become like a sleeper team who just came out of nowhere, I think the only way they would contend is if Russell Westbrook has one of those MVP type seasons where he literally averages a triple double per game, and yeah, he just goes off and has an Oscar Robertson type season,
which would be
where he
great.
won.
That'd be great for Washington.
Yeah, it would be great for basketball in general. I think.
Do they have the Capital One Center still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this Capital One Center.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I haven't been to. I have family that lives in DC. I haven't visited them in 12 months now. So.
Yeah, man.
Dang it, COVID.
Yeah, thanks a lot, COVID. I don't know, man. But hey, it's when this COVID thing really passes by. What do you know, dude? The Premier League in soccer, European soccer, they're allowing fans little by little, week by week, to come back into the stadium and watch and attend games. So, yeah, there's good news there. But again, it's in England, not in the United States. Where, unfortunately, in the United States, there's been a spike in COVID cases. So again, there's that, and especially in California, the LA area.
And I know
the Chargers might not be able to play in their stadium and play in different locations.
I think even in Tucson, I just got an email saying like we have a curfew now from like 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. So I don't know if you're still in Tucson. And shout out to my boy Jabari up in Phoenix. Left a comment on the YouTube. So shout out to Jabari. Hope you're staying safe up there in Phoenix. But I don't know. COVID's just weird. I have to fly home next week, and I'm not looking forward to being in a COVID-infested airport.
No, not at all. Man, good luck with that. Shoot. But yeah, in other news, what can we expect from this NBA season? How crazy is it going to be? I mean, the start date, December 22nd. We have the Nets against the Golden State Warriors. I'm sure they're all hoping that Klay Thompson wouldn't have re-injured himself, and now he's out for another season. Big bummer for NBA fans. What can we expect in this season? Like, what's going to go down? I mean, especially after like a very short layoff after they were in the bubble.
They were still playing in August.
Right.
It's what, June to middle of October?
Right.
So, and I mean, now you're getting, and I want to like take a tangent. The NBA has done a really good job of figuring out what the heck they're doing. The NHL has done nothing. Like, I have no idea when the NHL is coming back.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The NBA has a start date, has their first half schedule. They're just everything's going to plan, and the NHL is like twiddling their thumbs.
Right, and that speaks volumes.
What baseball did last year.
Right,
the NBA is proactive here. The NHL is like hockey.
Yeah, hockey. I mean, but hey, I think that speaks volumes to the kind of commissioner that Adam Silver is. To me, I've always regarded him as one of the best commissioners by far in all sports. There's no doubt about it. There's just no comparison. This guy's always on the ball. He's always been very productive in his plans, especially with the NBA restart date. For a long time, he didn't know when the NBA would come back, and then what do you know? He put this situation together, even though it may have not been ideal for fans watching at home, but it's for the better sake of the players to make sure they remain safe, away from having a disastrous COVID outbreak in the NBA. So hats off to Adam Silver. Excellent job.
Yeah, amen to that. Silver's been unbelievable, with the, just on all fronts. The basketball front, the global front,
Right.
There's not a lot of things you can like poke holes in with him. You can
No,
poke holes in a lot of things with Goodell.
Right.
NHL fans have called for Bettman's head for a long
Manfred.
time,
Oh,
and Manfred. Oh my goodness!
Jesus.
I think most
Dude.
baseball fans would send Manfred to the moon before they would rather
Right.
watch him.
Dude, did you hear like that World Series, the Dodgers and the Rays, after it all concluded, the ceremony for the Dodgers winning the title, Manfred was there to speak. I did not find it sincere at all. Like everything that he said was just
metal, right?
so fake to me.
It's just a piece of metal.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I'm not an athlete. I've never played in Major League Baseball. I'm never going to play in Major League Baseball. But calling the Commissioner's Trophy just a piece of metal is a little disingenuous. Like these guys spend their entire lives, they work hard every single day to lift a trophy, and you can say, "Oh, it's just a piece of metal. It doesn't matter." Well, they're making millions of dollars and trying. Blood, sweat, tears, all the cliches you want. They want that darn championship.
That's right. At the end of the day, that's what matters most is winning that championship for your city. But again, speaking of Manfred, I couldn't believe that he allowed, like he was there in person at Globe Life Stadium in Texas.
I had been there, low key.
Yeah, and like he was there to witness that championship, and he allowed. I can't believe this. Under his watch, allowed Justin Turner, a guy who just tested positive for COVID-19 at the time, to celebrate with his team. But again, yes, I understand it's the heat of the moment, and Justin Turner was feeling, emotionally overwhelmed because it's his first title. I get that, but you have to keep him
away.
Yeah.
No, you can celebrate with your guys later. If you have COVID, make sure you're good, and then you can have your champagne. I'm going to look up Justin Turner's salary and see how many bottles of champagne he could buy with his yearly salary. That's what I'm going to do. So you can go on a monologue. Right. Oh, and my Wi-Fi is down. That's great.
It's just unbelievable to me how he could allow that as the commissioner.
Okay, $12 million in 2017. How much is champagne?
How much? I'm curious, man. This guy.
Here we go. You can get a Dom Perignon 2010 sparkling wine champagne for $165. Oh, here we go. The 2020 Lakers champagne. So $40. So he made $12 million. Here we go. Calculator. I can do quick maths. $12 million divided by 40. So not including tax, he could buy 300,000 bottles of champagne.
Unreal.
At least with this 2017 salary, $300,000 or 300,000 bottles of champagne.
Right. Man, dude. Honestly, I would love to have seen an Astros Dodgers rematch in the World Series, just so it could add a fuel to the fire.
That'd be interesting. I don't know if
heated rivalry and hatred that the Dodgers have for the Astros after finding out that they got caught for cheating. We're cheating in Major League Baseball.
That's an interesting one because I don't think the Astros are going to be ever as good as the 2017 and 18 season. Now, I would like to point out that, the banging trash cans thing, they pitched really well in those games. There's only like one game out of that entire series, or out of the entire 2017 playoffs, they allowed more than 4 runs. And I know, if they know what pitch is coming, they can score more runs. It's also the friggin' Houston Astros. They can score wherever the heck they want, and they won games on the road in Los Angeles.
Right, especially with that high-powered offense.
Yeah, just like them all you want, that's fair. But they pitched really well in the games they played at home.
They really did.
They had plenty of hits, plenty of runs on the road. Again, they won the World Series on the road.
That's true. So again, I mean, so you're basically defending the Houston Astros.
No, I'm not defending the Houston Astros. I'm just pointing out that they were. That I don't even know if they needed to cheat to win a title. That's the crazy thing. It's like if the Warriors, I don't know how you could cheat in basketball, but I don't know. Let's say the Warriors were able to expand the rim by an inch or something.
Right.
So they get more shots. They were going to win anyways.
Right. Sometimes it feels like the rim was expanded by 1 to 2 inches whenever Steph Curry and Klay Thompson would like throw the ball up in the air and it'd go in like every single time.
Like oh my goodness, Curry has those crazy layups. It's in 2K. I haven't played 2K in a while, but Curry had this stupid animation that he would like launch like finger roll layup, launch it to the moon, come back down. Every single time it went in. It didn't matter if you contested it. It didn't matter if you had 99 overall Shaq from 2000. It's going in.
Right.
And I couldn't make an open shot to save my life.
And tell me, man, going back to baseball, what do you think of Steve Cohen, the brand new owner of the New York Mets, going on Twitter and asking questions to Mets fans like, what moves should I make? How should I improve this team? What are your suggestions? What do you think of that?
That man has
public discussion.
Swag. Just straight up infinite swag.
I agree.
It's not even like the audacity. It's this man knows what the heck he's doing. And I'm very impressed with that he's like, hey, guys, I'm going to help you out. What do you want to see? I might not actually do them, which that's, what we're going to see. But hey, I love it. If I was a GM or maybe not a head coach, if I was a head coach, I would get my fans to design a play.
Yeah,
I would get all of my fans to send in a play.
Right.
And if I was a GM, it's beautiful.
Can you imagine they did that? Like a head coach designing a play from the fans' feedback in the final play of the game.
Well, I don't know about that. It would be a preseason game or right.
Yeah, right. Just an experiment, like just to test it out.
And what's up, El Guapo, on the YouTube comments?
El Guapo, what's cracking? Hey, what's up, El Guapo? How you doing? You know what? Since we just talked about Steve Cohen, like giving suggestions to his fans, let's ask for some suggestions from our YouTube commenters. The people who are watching right now. What do you guys want to see us talk about? I'm curious. All right, we'll just wait till they post something. How about that?
Yeah.
Keep talking. But anyways, what do you think about Steve Cohen giving it to J-Lo and showing her up and saying, "Hey, at least I know how to buy a team in New York.
Oof.
It's the only thing you're not good at."
Ooh.
How about that? At negotiating. How about that? How do you think A-Rod took that?
A-Rod
dissing his girl like that. How do you like that? What do you think?
I don't know what goes through A-Rod's head. That's just funny to me. I had
very funny. I loved it. It was great.
And
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the New York Mets, with this new ownership, that they will win a World Series. Mark my words. And 2 to 3 years from now, I think it's realistic. Okay. I think it's realistic.
Still better than
I guarantee you, in the public open discussion that Steve Cohen had with Mets fans, a lot of them mentioned, "Hey, sign George Springer because he is a free agent. Sign Kyle Schwarber. Sign all these other guys. Get more pitching. Add to the bullpen. Become a force in the NL East."
Yeah, I mean,
I know the Marlins are coming. The Phillies.
I think Atlanta is still poised to be like top of the division. Ooh,
Josh Allen winning MVP. Ooh, that's a hot take. That's a hot take, buddy.
That's from Jacob. Shout out Jacob, but ooh, that's a little hot there. That's a little hot there.
Right.
I think it's
Mahomes. Yeah, he's the clear favorite to win MVP. I don't know about Josh Allen winning MVP. I'm gonna guess that you're a Bills fan, El Guapo, right?
He is.
You have to be. You have to be.
Yeah, he's
I just don't see Josh Allen in any world winning MVP this year. No way.
Well, he's actually a Bengals fan. He just loves him. He loves him some Josh Allen. But
I got you.
We give him crap in the group chat because he liked the Chargers for a little bit, so he's been like a Bengals, Chargers, and Bills fan.
What's in this bitch? Oh, dude. Now I don't want to get off here, man. This is great.
I know, right? What's up, Nathan?
Dude, yes, it is very inspirational. Wait, El Guapo, you hate Mahomes? I want to hear this. What's your explanation?
I mean,
is it because Mahomes is literally got a huge contract after winning Super Bowl MVP? $500 million. No, he's part owner. He's part owner of the Kansas City Royals. He just got engaged, got a Super Bowl ring. Dude, the guy's on top of the world right now.
And his brother is a TikTok star.
Is that why, El Guapo? Is that why?
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking about Super Bowl MVP too.
Yeah.
He won Super Bowl MVP.
Josh Allen Super Bowl MVP.
Oh.
Okay. I'll give you
Yeah,
the
I
benefit of the
mean,
doubt. If the Bills win the Super Bowl, Josh Allen would almost certainly be MVP. Ravens winning out, I agree. I think they do it. I think
oh, man, I have
I,
a
I
feeling
think
that there's going to
Baltimore
be a
can go.
trap game for the Ravens, and like they're going to lose.
I
Unfortunately, and
like
it's
I
really gonna
I think New England was a trap game. I think that's where you go with that because I think
right.
just from
They're
a
always a
talent
trap game.
perspective and a coaching perspective, I don't think anyone the rest of the year can outcoach John Harbaugh. Although Joe Judge is a pretty doggone good coach in his own right, but
Right.
imagine. Okay, here we go. El Guapo, Bengals fan. Imagine if the Bengals end Baltimore season week 17 again.
Yeah, again. Can you imagine that? Oh my god! Like,
Oh, that I think that's why he's a. Think that might be why he's a Bills fan, but I'm not sure about that. But
right. But no,
uh,
I think to your likeness, El Guapo, I think the Bills will win the AFC East without a doubt. I think they will beat Miami in their matchup when they play in a couple of weeks. I see that happening. Um, it really feels like, yeah, the Bills will come out in the AFC East. Now, will they win a playoff game? Yeah, I think they'll win a playoff game
I think
this
that's
year.
very matchup dependent.
Right, of course.
I think they would beat Vegas. They would beat Miami. They would beat. I think they beat Cleveland. Uh, I would have hope in Baltimore. Like if there was a division winner that I would want to face, it's Buffalo. But that's because Tennessee owns us, Kansas City owns us, and Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. So there's
Right.
that. Um, then why do the Bengals always lose to Baltimore? So what if the Ravens lose to the Jags? Splash, will you shave your beard?
Yeah,
No.
dude, you should shave your beard for
I always
sure.
get shaved when my teams win a title, so it's going to be a while. Ravens aren't going to win this year. Braves aren't going to win this year. Cavs aren't going to win this year. Red Wings aren't going to win this year, so it's going to be a while.
Well, that's a hot take, El Guapo. You think the Ravens are booty cheeks? I have to disagree.
He's going to send the Patriots are one game behind or something. Some Bills
Oh my God.
mafia propaganda. So.
Right. But again, going back to the MVP conversation that we've been having, what do you think? Is Mahomes a clear favorite, cut favorite to win?
Mahomes is a clear favorite. I think Rodgers is close behind. Rodgers has been sensational this year. Then Wilson is kind of there. Allen's kind of there. Kyler, I guess. Chubb, not Chubb. Sorry, Henry and Cook. You know, I don't think a running back wins it this year, especially when Mahomes is doing Mahomes things. Like I guess if Henry went 200, 200, 200, 200, 200 to end the season and ended with like 2,300 yards, maybe, but
Right.
no one's ever done that, so I don't know.
Man, that's a really hot take. Ravens making the AFC Championship. Ooh, man, I'm not.
I just want to win a playoff game first.
Right.
Calm it.
I do not see Baltimore going through Pittsburgh or Kansas City. I just don't see that happening.
Okay, here we go. Here's a point. I think Baltimore would beat Pittsburgh.
I don't think so. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Okay, one, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It rarely happens. It happens maybe once a decade. Most teams, it's 2 out of 3. It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
But look at the issues right now. They're playing the Ravens. Of course, the quarterback play. Lamar Jackson hasn't been the same this year. He got COVID.
He's not been bad.
No, he hasn't been bad. He definitely hasn't been bad at all.
And remember, Baltimore dominated most of the game against Pittsburgh. It's 4 plays that Lamar turned the ball over, twice in his own territory. If he doesn't turn the ball over in his own territory, doesn't throw a pick 6, I'm changing 1 play. Baltimore wins.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think Lamar Jackson is an elite passer?
I didn't say he was an elite passer last year. I think he's good enough, but people like try to crap on him for it. Like he's a perfectly fine passer. Like you look at his rate stats, they're perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine. He has a 95, 96 pass rating. That's perfectly fine. But people think, oh, he only throws or he only runs the ball. No, he doesn't. Even at Louisville, he was just standing in the pocket. Sometimes he stood in the pocket too much. That was a criticism of him. That he like one thing that Kyler does better than Lamar is that Kyler is very decisive. So when he decides to run, he's going. Lamar's like, okay.
Right.
If Lamar was more decisive, I don't think the Ravens are 6-5.
No.
I think if Lamar had a little bit of that swagger that he had last year, I think the Ravens are 7-4. I think they would have a better chance against Tennessee. Remember that game went to overtime. That's a one play goes differently. The Ravens win that game. Pittsburgh,
Right.
one play goes differently. Pittsburgh or Baltimore wins that game, and then you lose to Bill Belichick in a monsoon. Okay, that's a scheduled loss. That's a weather loss. That's a Lamar didn't play poorly. That's a we couldn't stop Jamie Harris loss really.
Right.
And the Chiefs are the Chiefs, so that's an L either way. There's at this point in time, Baltimore could assemble a super team and lose to the Chiefs. So.
Right. Yeah. But anyways, we got a comment here. We conking Miami? Yeah, I don't think the Bengals are conking anybody after losing Joe Burrow. Okay, I'm sorry, Aguapo. That's just the truth. You guys have no quarterback right now.
Oh,
Do you really think your second or third stringer is going to beat Miami in their top 15 defense? Yeah, I don't think so. It's not happening.
Oh,
if anything, you guys are getting conking by Miami. It's not going to be pretty. But hey, I could be wrong. What if it is a trap game? And I'm going to eat my words.
The Bills, I would say the Bills can whop the Dolphins. Josh Allen's really good against Miami.
Yes, he is. And again, I expect the Bills to win that game against Miami.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. And that will determine the AFC East.
Yes, it will.
And ultimately, they win.
Yeah.
But hey, I still think Miami will get the 7th seed, become that sleeper team. And who knows? Maybe they'll pick up
Kansas City.
Right, probably get destroyed by somebody.
Do you think Pittsburgh goes 16-0?
I don't think Pittsburgh goes 16-0.
I think they do. I think they do. I want them to for financial reasons. I want them to, and then also then their fans would be really, really cocky, and it would be absolutely hilarious to watch them lose to someone.
Right. Can you imagine them going 16-0 and then losing at the most inopportune time in the playoffs and then the divisional round?
Here we go. Here we go. Ultimate conspiracy theory. Ravens get the 7th seed. Well, no. Ravens get the 6th seed. Avoid the Chiefs. Wait a minute. Yeah. Ravens get the 6th seed. Avoid the Chiefs. Chiefs are the 2 seed. Ravens beat the Bills or the Titans. I don't really. Okay. Here we go. Ravens get the 5 seed. They beat Buffalo. Tennessee beats whoever the 6th seed is. Kansas City beats whoever the 7th seed is. And it's Baltimore at Pittsburgh, Tennessee at Kansas City. Baltimore wins that game.
No, they do not.
Yes, they do.
They do not
Baltimore played. They destroyed Pittsburgh. They won 80. They dominated 80% of plays in the first game against Pittsburgh. They get undermined by 2 interceptions, or an interception, a fumble, I think. It was 2 picks. 2 picks inside the 25. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Jabari.
Hey, Jabari, I'm going to have to agree. Yeah, they've been pretty dog shit lately.
Wow. Well, yeah, of course, lately, but now you're talking momentum. They have a solid chance of going 5-0, and they would go into the playoffs, flying into the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost one of those games, or even 2 games.
If they lose 2,
forget it. Yeah, they're not making the playoffs.
The Browns one, I'm like a little hesitant on. I think the Browns are really good. Trench play is great. Quarterback play, is whatever. Coaching is fine, but if Baltimore doesn't win out, I don't have any hope. If they do win out, I have a little bit of hope. More hope than I had last year, which is saying something because we went 14-2 last year. But I think it's time for Baltimore to say, hey, Vegas wasn't wrong when they said we were a really, really good team, because we are. And well, sorry for that motorcycle, but
Jesus Christ,
it's time. It's time, Baltimore.
Have a dog.
Yeah, it's time.
Something in your dorm, dude. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's time.
But dude, anyways, another intriguing NFL matchup, I guess, considering what's going on in the NFC least division. Goodness sake. Somebody just won a bunch of games already.
Okay,
Giants at Seahawks. What do you think?
Okay, tiny interruption. There's a realistic chance that the NFC East, the entire division, enters Week 16 without any team having 5 wins. Because I think Seattle is going to roll New York. I don't think that game is going to be particularly well. To be fair, all of Seattle's games are unrealistically close. But I mean, you're talking the Giants play at Seattle, Arizona, and Cleveland. That's 3 losses. They'll be 4-10. The Eagles play at Green Bay, New Orleans, Arizona. That's 3 losses. They'll be 3-10-1. The Cowboys play Baltimore, Cincinnati. That's a dub. And then they lose to San Francisco. They'll be 4-10. And then you have Washington. They play Pittsburgh. That's a loss. San Francisco. That's a loss. Seattle. That's a loss. Going into week 16, all of them are going to be 4-10 or worse. That's my, I guess, hot take. I guess. And then Washington could lose to Carolina. The Giants are going to lose to Baltimore.
Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on a second. Going back to that Washington Steelers game.
Yes.
I think everyone's sleeping on Washington, man, because they have a really good defense.
Yes, they do.
Have a really good defense. Alex Smith.
He's not good. Alex Smith is not good. Alex Smith, like
you're kidding me, right?
On Baker earlier. Alex Smith is not a top 10. Nowhere close.
No, he's not top 10, but he's at least average.
He's worse than Baker. Do you want me to name how many quarterbacks I'd rather have than Alex Smith? There we go. Okay. Josh Allen, Cam Newton, Tua. He's better than the Jets guy. Jackson, Roethlisberger, Mayfield. He's better than the Bengals guy. Tannehill, Rivers, Watson. He's better than the Jags guy. Mahomes, Carr, Herbert. He's better than the Broncos guy. He's maybe better than Andy Dalton. He might be the best quarterback in the NFC East. I'll give him that. I'd take Rodgers over him. I'd take Brady, Breeze, or Taysom, or Jameis Winston for that matter. I don't know why New Orleans is starting Taysom Hill, but
I have no idea. That was crazy.
And I'd take the entire NFC West. I would take Nick Mullins over Alex Smith. Although a lot of that is because
there's no way in hell I'm taking Nick Mullins over freaking Alex Smith.
Okay,
no, fair, dude. That's kind of a hot take there.
I don't know. I think it's close thing.
I really have Alex Smith. So I think you're forgetting the pedigree and everything that he did for Kansas City. He wasn't a bad quarterback at all.
Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. I love Terry McLaurin. He's not Tyreek Hill. I love Logan Thomas. He's not Travis Kelce. I love Antonio Gibson. He's not quite Kareem Hunt yet. But, I mean, Alex Smith is fine, but I don't know. I think he's a bottom-tier quarterback. He's not quite as bad as Drew Lock or Sam Darnold or Carson Wentz. You know, he's not quite that bad, but I don't think he's very good.
Well, let's give him credit where credit's due. The guy just came back from like a very gruesome injury that should have ended his career, but it didn't.
That's a comeback play of the year conversation. That's not Washington's a good football team.
Yeah, I don't think
very good. Secondary is legit. Like, they are legit. Top to bottom defensively, you know. Is it Kendall Fuller? Kendall Fuller is having an incredible year. They've had good linebacker play. Chase Young has been, Chase Young.
Right.
I want to give special shout out Jonathan Allen. Before the season, I had a Madden career with the Falcons. I drafted Jonathan Allen. He broke the sack record and was Defensive Player of the Year and finished third in MVP voting.
Right.
John Allen is legit. That was in Madden, but he's legit in real life too.
Right. But I mean, hey, I've always liked this. The way the defense for the Redskins is shaped. I mean, I love that duo. Just the coaching duo, Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera, like two great defensive minds coming together, forming one unit. I think that's a big testament to their coaching abilities and why this defense is at the top right now in terms of DVOA and overall defensive efficiency. They've been excellent.
Oh, absolutely. Washington has been stellar in every way defensively. They, picked Lamar twice. Back when they played Baltimore, they played Kendall Fuller has been a legit lockdown corner this year. He's been, I don't know where he's like PFF grades, but I think he's an elite corner this year. He's the guy that I don't necessarily know if I would say he's an absolute Pro Bowl guy because Jair Alexander exists and James Bradbury exists and Darius Williams, Jalen Ramsey, those guys exist, but he's a top 10 NFC corner. He might be fifth. So Absolutely. He's legit. He is legit.
I think just because of their defense, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up, only considering how bad that division is. I wouldn't be surprised if the Redskins came out and represented the NFC East.
Yeah.
In a lonely wild card playoff game in which I'm sure they will lose.
Depends on who they play. That's a point. I think it depends on who they play. Like if they play, If it like Tampa, I think Tampa can be had, but it's hard to beat Tampa. You have to. It requires Tom Brady to play like garbage, basically.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
Brady doesn't play well, you beat Tampa. If
Yeah.
Brady does play well, you don't beat Tampa. Now, granted, he hasn't been very consistent.
Tom Brady SQ as of what we've been accustomed to for like the last.
He's been all over the place. He
Right.
wasn't bad against Kansas City. He did have a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're throwing that one, Tom. He had a couple good throws. Gronk went off. Gronk had 100 yards.
Yeah, man. Gronkowski, like, it's come out of nowhere. It's having pretty quietly a good
He's up
season.
over 500 yards.
Right.
You would have thought that. Even the most like ambitious Bucks fans were like, he's gonna be tight end 3. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna catch a couple touchdowns. He has 500 yards with 5 or 4 weeks to go, or 4 games to go for Tampa. 5 weeks left.
Right.
So, I don't know. He's exceeded my expectations. I thought he would be like not a gadget player, but like a goal line. 3rd and 2, he comes in. 4th and 2, he comes in. That kind of guy. Ronald Jones has been good, although his stats are a little inflated because he had that 98-yard touchdown against Carolina. But I like Tampa. I love them defensively. And then you got whoever finishes second in the NFC West, they'll be in the contention for the 5 seed. The Rams already beat Washington. Seattle plays them in a couple weeks. Might play them in 2 weeks, but I don't know. I think Washington would beat the Bears.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. As sad as that is to say, I wouldn't be surprised.
The Bears. If the Bears make the 5 seed, something has gone horribly wrong in Tampa and the entire NFC West.
Right. But again, I still don't think Chicago's making the playoffs, unfortunately, because I think the defense just gave up. Because look at it this way. Against Green Bay, look, I understand it's Aaron Rodgers, and they have a very potent offense, but there's no way in hell, if they actually did like playing for the coach and they didn't give up on the season, there's no way they're giving up 40 points.
No, absolutely not.
No way.
No, in fairness, Green Bay did score a defensive touchdown, but the Chicago defense doesn't just casually allow 35 points.
That's right.
They didn't allow 30 points to Mahomes last year.
Think of it this way. It's no surprise to me that going into that game at Lambeau Field, Chicago came in as the only team in the league yet to allow 27 points in a single game. And what do you know? It happened against Green Bay, their arch rival. It just happened out of nowhere. I don't know why, because they gave up on the season. That's it. Matt Nagy completely lost the locker room. Like, you might as well just stick a fork into Chicago. Hopefully they make me eat my words and that they go on a run and win out, but I doubt it because we have to play Green Bay at the end of the season at Soldier Field.
That's probably they probably used to Houston. They probably used to Houston. That's how it's going today. They probably lose to Houston.
Yeah, it sounded like you said lose to Houston.
Yeah, so I think my voice is beginning to leave me.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, this final verdict. Who wins the Super Bowl this year? Who takes the cake in Tampa Bay?
Mr. Mahomes, again.
I agree. Mr. Mahomes, once again, for the second time in a row. I don't see anybody beating the Kansas City Chiefs right now, especially the way Mahomes is playing. I mean,
he's the first repeat champion since the 03-04 Patriots. And frankly, I think the next decade of football is going to be a lot of, hey, Kansas City is the favorite. Hey, Kansas City is the favorite.
To be fair, I think who can give Kansas City a run for their money in the playoffs would be Tennessee.
Tennessee, yes, because Henry, but I like New Orleans. I think New Orleans
a lot because of their defense.
Defensively, they've been really good the last few weeks. Offensively,
best defense in the NFL.
You get Kamara, you get Michael Thomas, you get Sanders. You have a lot of weapons there. You're not going to match Kansas City, but you have to match Kansas City. No, there's a chance Alvin Kamara can be the best player in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised. Right. Michael Thomas can be the best player in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised.
Absolutely.
I think Tampa. I don't trust Tampa to win 3 playoff games in a row, but they have the talent to beat Kansas City. Kansas City destroyed them for the first quarter, but then after that, Tampa mostly kept the lid on Kansas City for the last 3 quarters. Now, granted, it was 17-0 in one of the Tyreek Hill had 200 yards in the first quarter. I've watched football for 15 years. I've never seen that happen.
Right.
Tyreek Hill had one of like 3 games with 13 catches, 260 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Right.
What do you do? What do you do?
Okay. Real quick, before we get out of here, here's my quick Super Bowl prediction.
Okay.
I think it'll be Kansas City against, here we go,
Oh boy.
the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
I think it'll be the Saints. I think Kansas City beats them.
Yeah.
It won't be a blowout. No way in hell. I don't think that will be a
Kansas City wins
blowout.
by 10. I think it's going to be a
Yeah,
game to the San Francisco game that if it ends up being a blowout, it's because Kansas City scored a touchdown with 30 seconds left. Something like that.
Right.
Okay. Hear me out. I really like the Packers this year. Defensively, they're a little shaky, but Aaron Rodgers is playing at the top of his game.
Right.
Seattle doesn't have the defense to beat the other top teams. I really want to go with the Rams. I think the Rams they have a great defense and a high enough floor offensively that even if Goff screws up, he's not going to turn the ball over 4 times over. Or he's not going to turn the ball over 4 times again. It's
Right.
a Lamar theory. He had the worst game of his life against Pittsburgh. Goff had the worst game of his life against Miami. As long as Goff doesn't do that, the Rams are going to be very competitive. And I think you have Aaron Donald, who's the best player on the field almost every snap. Jalen Ramsey's been sensational. Darius Williams has been sensational. Troy Hill has been really good. And you got Kupp, you got Woods, you got Higbee, you got Everett, you got Van, you got Reynolds, you got Henderson. You just have. I talked about New Orleans having fronts. They might have like Kamara and Thomas are better than anyone on the Rams, but the Rams have like 10 guys that can get first downs, move the chains, and they have Sean McVay, who is one of the greatest offensive minds in the last 25 years.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Just as I thought Chiefs would be one of the greatest offensive minds, but we all know he's been a
Chiefs by 12 or the 35-23 Chiefs.
I agree. 35-20. All right, I'm going to say I'm going to go 24-17 Kansas City.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
I think
at least by a touchdown, no doubt.
I have no idea why I'm choosing the actually I have a lot of reasons why I'm choosing the Rams, but I want to be bold. I think the Rams, I don't know if they win out, but I do think they beat Seattle again, and I think they win the NFC West, and I think that gives them I think the Rams can get hot and start rolling. So,
I don't know.
There's that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not really a hot take, but again,
I think it's a hot take.
A lot of people have the Rams making a deep run.
I'll take
which I'm sure they will.
I'll take Los Angeles. When I get some money back for my bets this weekend, I will put some money on the Rams going to the Super Bowl.
I like that. The Rams being a dark horse team to go to the Super Bowl and perhaps win it all, which I think they should have back in 2018. That snooze fest of a Super Bowl against the Patriots. Jesus.
Of all the possibilities, I didn't expect that game would end with 16 points.
Yeah, I did not either. That was like the biggest surprise I've ever seen in all sports.
The Los Angeles Rams would go to the Super Bowl and lose to Kansas City.
Sounds good. So. Yeah, I'm sticking to my pick. Kansas City will beat the Saints and Tampa 24-17. All right, guys, those were our final verdicts. Again, thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Sports Report with your host, Brian Savage, and my co-host, as always, Mr. Ryan Potts. Thank you again, guys. Again, it's finals week. Study hard. Don't do anything stupid. Be safe. And wear your mask. Okay, guys? Have a good one. Let's go Bears.
No, go Ravens. 5-0, baby.
We're going 0-5, baby. Let's go. We're gonna tank. Let's do this. Get Justin Fields. Let's go. We'll get Kyle Trask. I don't care. Come on. We need a quarterback. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Rest easy.